a gamble on will it still be there kind of a thing if we could combine these two issues into one for now. And as I read that, it doesn't tie us to anything. And at the end of 2 months or whatever we determine, if this is just not going anywhere, then we'll be back to do we want to do option 2 or nothing, I suppose. Because as I see it, if we find no partners, I'm not sure about all my colleagues, but I think I know what a couple people think from past comments. I just don't see concept 1 being feasible. Good idea in a different time, yes. Feasible for us now, no. But I don't know what my colleagues think.
Any of Kathy's colleagues have any comments?
I'll turn it on.
They were insightful comments.
Well, so did I. I mean, in general, I have struggled a little bit with us becoming a developer and taking on this type of risk. We're looking for ways essentially to stall, make it so they don't sell the property, and to give us time to do things. I did get a call and a letter from one of our constituents who would very much like us to find a way to acquire this property, and probably all of it. And one of the things that they brought up was one, presumably all the organizations that providing us backing, like the Sierra Club and this and that, and then there's some suggestions that maybe we could find some corporate partners that would be willing to help us, and maybe we can. My comment to her having to do with all those people that throughout the 3 years or plus that we've been talking about this, all said that we have their full support, but not a single penny of theirs to help us do anything. And so talk is really cheap. And so, I mean, if all these organizations are so concerned about this, I don't know why some of them don't come forward and actually do something that will help. Kathy?
My only, and this is just not even my council member hat, but more my previous life as an activist hat. Perhaps if we would get something out of this next 2 to 3 months of this, that like the 20-acre thing or whatever comes out of it, that would give anybody who had an activist bent and wanted to stay on this something to work with, to go to the organizations and say, okay, here the city's committed themselves to this core piece. We would like to do something about, acquiring more of it, and they might have something to work with. And you have to, if you're going to have people seeking something, they have to have something to offer, I think. Just my active experience. Yeah.
Mr. Nephew?
I was, in favor of option 1 previously, and I do have to say that, reading the report and pondering some of the issues really has brought a lot of questions into my mind, particularly pondering the risks of it. I think that's a really good point about, that various other potential partners haven't been able to come to the table. We've gotten, certainly we have support of our local legislators, for example, but if, this has been a lousy time for bonding, as we found with the East Metro Fire Training Facility. The time frame on when something might come through is pretty hard to track. I guess in my mind, the one thing that could make option 1 really work would be for us to have a referendum get going for it. But that's, that seems increasingly